sidekick Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck, and we're halfway through February already.
Wow.
If you're seeing this when it drops, or listening to it when it drops, then we're in mid-February, so we're in Valentine's week, actually.
That's crazy.
You do have a sweetheart, enjoy them, and if you're single as a Pringle like myself, and happily single, then just hug yourself and love yourself. But good morning, Boo. How are you doing?
Good morning. Yeah, wow. February is a short, sweet month.
It really is. It's honestly, I kind of like
every month. I kind of wish every month was like February.
As far as I like February because it's like the promissory note to spring. You start to get
exactly.
The day that we're recording this, it's going to get up to about 60s, like 65, 67 degrees.
Yeah.
You start to get the longer days because the sunlight's getting more and more plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that March is around the corner, which is International Women's Month, and it's the first month of real spring here in North Carolina. This is where we film and record, is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. For people that don't know that, I don't even know if we say that much on this show. I know we do on the other.
We don't.
Show.
No. Undisclosed location.
We do.
That's my line.
Hidden bunker somewhere. But
that's right.
No, only Nazis hiding bunkers and Trumpsters.
That's right.
But anyway, we are going to start off the Two Queers in a Truck. We're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio a little bit. Once again, he has trolling the high schools, and he's got a new girlfriend. What? Well, he trades them in when they get to about 25, 26.
Is he Matt Gates' brother?
Yeah, he does the legal ones, but they're barely legal. I mean, they're legal from an age standpoint. So this new girlfriend is a whopping 19 years old. And Leo's our age. He's 50 something. He's not a kid anymore. Like you can look at him now and you can tell he doesn't look like the Titanic Leonardo DiCaprio. He looks like the middle-aged, starting to get a little bit chubbier, starting to get a little older, starting to get a little grayer. But the thing about young women, they all stay the same age if you keep dating them that way. And so when when they age out, he trades them in like cars and gets a new one. And this new one's 19. And, a little bit of an age gap is good. But he's like working on 3 decades now. He's like dating. He's literally dating women that could easily be his daughter. And like if he had a baby at 30, this girl would be 19 now. Like we're talking about when he was 30, this girl was being born. She was an infant. I mean, you have to, at some point.
Why do you think it is? I mean, what's?
Well, I mean, it's immaturity.
What causes that?
Yeah. I think it's immaturity. Probably, maybe his equipment's extraordinarily small, and he's telling her it's 10 inches. They're like, I hope she doesn't ever measure drapes. They'll be hanging into the middle of the den.
That's a good point, Jenny. I never thought about that. I never thought maybe it's because they want to date people who don't have a lot of experience who can compare them. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. No, a lot of it's vanity. A lot of it's
the
lack of virility or or doesn't quite measure up, so to speak. They've got small hands, like former President Trump. Because you notice a pattern with these type of guys, these rich and powerful dudes. Leonardo DiCaprio is a very powerful person in Hollywood. Has got a lot of gravitas and is very, very wealthy, done well with his money, and he likes what he likes. But a lot of these guys, and you see this a lot with men, is a lot of them won't date somebody above 30. Leonardo is taking it to the extreme when he starts them out as teenagers. Literally, she's a teenager. She's 19. People, women or men at that age aren't even really full grown adults. Like their brains are, still developing, especially men. And to rob her of her early and mid 20s, and then this girl's gonna get dumped in 2 or 3 or 4 years when she ages out for him, and then he'll go trolling back at the junior colleges and high schools.
But doesn't she have to accept some responsibility? She has to know. What?
Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're about to go with this, and this is what's going to shoot down what you're about to say. Let's say an alien culture, way, way more advanced, came down here and scooped you up. And with their powerful Svengali type technology, convinced you that it was the right thing to do, to take you up in that ship and probe you and do whatever what. Treat you like a farm animal, basically, and then make you happy about it. Are you responsible for that, or are they?
Well, you had me at Svengali. The fact that you knew who that was.
I'm pretty well read, actually, believe it or not. Just because I got a foul mouth. But the reality is, Leonardo DiCaprio has a half a century of living, is rich, is powerful, is famous. A 19-year-old girl is going to get wooed by old Broham there. Like he is going to. There's a reason why this is unethical. There's a reason why you could even literally say it's the same thing as drunk people or high people can't sexually give consent if they're too drunk or high. That it's considered rape if you give somebody, roofies, and they may be semi-conscious, but it's still, if you roofie somebody and you penetrate them, it's rape because you can't consent when you're on rape. The same as with really young, naive people. One of the reasons why we have statutory rape laws is really because of age difference. And literally, this is really long-term statutory rape and grooming. This is exactly, because what a mind fuck is to have Titanic's Jack 30 years later come and woo you and pick you out of all the billions of girls on this planet. And just because she's of age and majority does not mean she has the mentality to withstand Hurricane Leo. The next topic is Balloon Gate's finally over. For y'all that, obviously this is going to be a week later than it was when it was over, but it's just too juicy of a topic not to talk about again. And I think really why I like talking about it is because conservatives shit their pants and lose their minds over stuff like this, especially when a Democrat is in office, just like they lost their minds when President Obama had the audacity of wearing a tan suit. And they literally, you thought Obama had broken every one of their houses.
Exactly. That was crazy.
And robbed them blind, and it was over a tan suit. That was his biggest controversy he personally was involved with as a president, was wearing a tan suit. And it's only because he's black. They wouldn't have done that to a white guy. If Biden were to wear a tan suit or a thong and a half shirt, they wouldn't. They may say something about the thong and half shirt, but Well, Biden can wear wherever he wants for the most part. Any white president can wear whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're black, or if a balloon is Chinese instead of Russian or French or whatever, we have weather balloons and spy balloons go over our country all the time, and most of the time we don't see them because they're at a really, really high altitudes. They only work well at high altitudes. Plus, they're not in the flight path of commercial airliners, which I think tops out at about 55,000 feet, 60,000 feet most of the time. So you don't want weather balloons and spy balloons and Gazenta balloons, running into airliners. That would be an international incident. But quite frankly, whether they were spying on us or not, China is a spacefaring nation. They've put probes on the moon. They have satellites. They've been spying on us from space in their space balloons for decades. So they don't necessarily. And also, too, this isn't uncommon. This happened 3 times during the President Trump's administration. So we have to point out that, and Trump didn't shoot any of those balloons down.
Yeah.
Which also happens, China happens to be his funder and benefactor for his Truth Social. Yeah. Let's not forget
he likes making them the enemy, but he loves their money.
Well, yeah, he didn't turn down anybody's money. He's equal opportunity when it comes to that. He maybe not so much in politics, but he's very open-minded when it comes to sacks of money. And, President Trump is a very willing whore and will go to the higher bidder. I mean, we already just saw that with the NFT scam and selling his little baseball cards with him and all kinds of doctored up, cheesy, horrible. Like, it looks like a 10-year-old did those. Literally.
People bought them. Is that...
That's the best part. I mean, I love that he's scamming the scammers. Like, I like...
Exactly.
I like the fact that he's getting them. He's getting over on them and making money off them. And even Republicans are starting to notice that after 7 years of grifting, is they're like, maybe this guy isn't so good for our party, He's taken, few have said, hey, he's taking the money and running, maybe he's pulling money out of our pool. Well, yeah. What did you think? I mean, when he was charging full price for hotel rooms at Miralardo, when he was going on his weekly golf trips, bilking the government out of millions of dollars over the presidency, he said he wasn't going to take a salary. He did. Yeah. He's not going to turn out money. He's not going to, that's not. They would have lift this guy up to, and I don't know if you've noticed this, they've lifted this guy up to some kind of sainthood. And this guy's nothing but a common street hustler.
It's crazy.
And they're like, just spank me again, Daddy. Dom, Daddy Trump, just spank me again with them little hands and let's just, rip our ass one more time. And we love it. We love being ripped off and sold bullshit. And it's really pretty amazing. I've gotten to the point where Trump's been out of office long enough. I've gotten to the point where I almost appreciate him from the fact that he's fucking people that have fucked us for decades. I mean, he started the whole conspiracy things on the COVID thing, and the Republican MAGAs are just they're one to literally catch COVID and die because this moron and all of his henchmen are willing to spread these conspiracy theories.
I did think it was a little humorous on our other show on the social media postings that one person who who knows who it is, but said that they love seeing all the people who are vaccinated drop like flies. It's just
when that's happened, never.
Exactly. It was like, how do you respond to that? It's like, you're stupid.
We're at that point where You just gotta smile and go, bless your heart. You'll be next.
Exactly.
Old Miss Rona will find you too. She's relentless. She ain't going anywhere. But we're up against our first break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye-bye. And we are back. The whole Trump thing, between taking his followers' money, screwing over the Republicans way more than the Democrats. I mean, this dude's lost the popular vote twice. He's lost in court 64, 65 times. He's impeached himself, which I thought was really interesting a couple weeks ago in New York when he took the fifth 400 times in a matter of a few hours. And we all heard what he said about Hillary in 2016, only mobsters and crooks take the fifth. Well, he said it. Anyway, Santos's office, one of the reasons I played It's Raining Men, Hallelujah by the Weather Girls, is that Santos's office in Washington, D.C. is rating voters saying from Long Island that have come in from his district saying, you need to resign. We don't want you representing. And they've hammered him this week. I mean,
are you talking about the drag queen?
Yeah, like Santos. Yeah, big old Queen Santos, Dave Volder, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Katara. What are the
I don't know her name. Katara.
Yeah. Whatever he's going by now to protect the guilty and the thievery is they are people from district. I think it's District 3, which is primarily the Long Island district in New York. And they are hammering him. And it's not just like 4 or 5 people. It's like hundreds. And they were all jammed and crammed around his office. So they would greet him when he was coming in the morning. They're following him out to his car. They're doing press conferences on the step of the Congress. And they are lighting his ass up, and not in a good way. And they're trying to pressure him to resign.
Did you see what happened on the State of the Union night with him and?
No, I didn't watch a bit of it. I had stuff.
Yeah. So apparently, he got there early because he wanted one of those seats that are next to the aisle to shake people's hands. So he made an effort to get there early, kind of towards the back. And he got there early and waited, and then everyone else fills in the seats. And then as people are walking in, he's trying to like shake people's hands because he wants to be on television and all that kind of stuff. Well, Mitt Romney's walking up, and he turns to him and says, "You shouldn't be there." And Santos kind of like, they played the video of him like talking to each other, and he says, "You should be in the back," or whatever. And one of them called the other one an asshole. And then Mitt Romney kept walking, and he's like turning around, and he yells "asshole." And afterwards, Mitt Romney, they asked him, "What did you say?" And he said, "This is what I said." And he said, you can't be under ethics investigation and then sit there and try to shake the president's hands and things like that. And then Santos, because he has to, own someone like a big old queen, said Mitt Romney will never be president. That's going to hurt his feelings. So I just thought that was really so. And that was kind of cool for Mitt Romney because it was like a statesman saying, you fool, you shouldn't be there, because everyone else is being too polite, and Mitt Romney just came out and said it like an old man, hey, you shouldn't be there.
Well, and Mitt Romney's paid his dues and at times been the voice of reason for the Republican Party and has spoke out about some things, not all, but some things that Trump was doing wrong. And it's good to see, even if it wasn't effective, it's good to see older statesmen in the upper chamber like a Mitt Romney that should be speaking out, should be saying
exactly
wrong is wrong.
People should be saying that
the
too.
Party is hey bitch, take your drag queen ass to the back row where you belong. And there's no reason for us to be nice about it. If we need to, we'll go get the sergeant at arms for the Congress, and we'll have you escorted out. And that's what they should have done. Is they should have just kicked his ass out of the fucking building and said, "Look, get your goofy ass out of here, you con artist, and don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you." And boom, I mean, Santos is just a chuckle fuck. He is just he is probably one of the goofy. I mean, he looks like a goofy bastard. He looks like a weasel. Like he kind of looks around. He always looks like he's looking around, like casing. Always looks like he's casing the place. Like he's about to grab a couple gold, candelabras and steal some house, pins, sneak into somebody else's office. Like all he needs is like a trench coat and some sunglasses. And you would think he was just, like a flasher or something like that. He just looks like a creep.
He's a functioning mentally ill person. You know what I mean?
And you're using functioning very loosely. Like he is aware enough to pull off the con to get in office.
Yes.
But he's such a dipshit. Like most of the House is the Republican House, is that he can't do the job. He's not capable of actually holding down the job of upper management of the government. He's just there to fill a role and build up a resume for his next con job, and like most of the Republicans in the House of Representatives. I mean, McCarthy, FTG, it's a fucking three-ring circus in there. Like they just need to have a little theme song like dun 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 dun. And they would be great. They all could wear little bobble noses and oversized shoes and big old wigs. And for Santos, that would be normal. Groomers on the loose. James Baird, a special ed, a worker in a school district in the Detroit area, molested 4 special ed students. He does eye testing, and so part of the process is to test their eyes is they get blindfolded for some things. Well, after they were blindfolded, he molested these special ed students, special needs students. And school busted him. Finally, the kid said, "Hey, he's teaching me places I don't think he's supposed to be touching me." And after the school found out, they didn't inform the teacher. They didn't inform the parents of these students that got molested by this creep. And so they didn't find out till it hit the news. So shame on that school district. But what a gross fucking dude. Like, dude, go get a sex worker. Go download some OnlyFriends and take care of yourself at home. Don't touch blindfolded special needs kids. Like,
but Jenny, that's what's so disingenuous about this parental rights stuff that's been going around. Like, we're going through it here in North Carolina.
And
if they were really,
he's not a drag queen. He's not.
Well, no, exactly.
He is a typical.
If they were really concerned about parental rights, wouldn't they have included this too? You know what I mean?
Oh no, because
it'd
be holding the actual people that molest kids and groom kids accountable.
Mm-hmm.
If you held teachers, policemen, and pastors accountable, they're the real groomers in every way, shape, and form. Yeah, you would actually probably hold down child molestation and rape and statutory rape and all that.
Because it was reported here, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and our neighboring county is Union County. And it was just reported in the Charlotte Observer when you watch this, the week that you watch this, that a coach in Union County, it was under investigation for sexual harassment of some football players. And they did the investigation and they found out, yes, he did sexually harass them, but they didn't tell the parents. And so wouldn't that be part of the parental rights? If you were really concerned about parental rights, you should include all of this, but they're not. I mean, it's about
So, first of all,
yeah,
Republicans don't give two fucks about parental rights and doing right by the kids. They're doing all this to dismantle public schools. Is that if you make it so dysfunctional, people are going to clutch their pearls and go, I guess we will have to have businesses take over the schools. Look how broken it is. And
exactly.
that's what these Republican chuckle fucks did in Texas with the power grid 30 years ago. They said, it's so expensive and it's so this and so that. And George W. Bush and his energy industry buddies took us off the national grid because they thought that would be a good idea and privatized it so that all of Papa Bush's connections would donate to George W. Bush so he could run for fucking president. And they destroyed a energy producing state's energy grid. And it's clusterfucked. It is whapperjawed and clusterfucked. It's going to take tens of billions of dollars to get it right and get us back on the national grid. Ain't going to happen anytime soon as long as we let Republicans run Texas into the fucking ground. And this privatizing of prisons, private prisons are just absolutely rip-offs and scams. And basically slave camps, because they have them working for $1.45 an hour, competing with local businesses making stuff. And this is what they're going to do with private schools. You just watch. There'll be private schools in Florida sponsored by Amway and Scott's toilet paper and, NASCAR, and not anything against any of those companies except for maybe Amway. Because Betsy DeVos opened it, and she's fucking drooling to take billions of her dollars, her personal wealth.
Exactly. That's that, and Social Security.
It's the next scam.
The biggest
it's the
thing that they're looking at. Yeah,
because it's trillions of dollars. These are honey holes. They've been wanting to exploit ever since this libertarian Koch Koch brothers bullshit is started, and it started 50 plus years ago when they're looking to basically, we'll have schools sponsored by Chuck E. Cheese. And what they'll do is they'll cut out all the special ed programs because those cost a lot. And I'm talking about physical therapy for people with dysgraphia and dyslexia. I'm talking about all the specials. Be the first thing these private schools won't pay for because they've got to turn a profit. And that's why public schools are mandated to have those services, but private schools don't have to. I know this for a fact. My oldest, has special needs. He's dysgraphic, it's a form of dyslexia. And we had him in a private kindergarten. They couldn't help him. They just wanted to put meds down, and they said he was ADHD. It was total horseshit. Took him to specialty doctors. They said, no. Got dysgraphia. You put him in public schools. They have programs. And his learning ability immensely improved. When they take away public schools, every special needs student is going to be left behind. Every queer student, they're like, no. This is a good Christian school. We don't want no queers in our school. And it is going to be private schools for the right kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
And black and brown kids are going to have a tough time because
unless you're one of the good ones.
If you're one of the good ones. But if you're, a little Latino boy and you roll your eyes the wrong way and maybe say Benteo and cuss them in Spanish, they'll bounce his little brown ass out of school.
Yeah.
And you'll see that kind of over policing of schools. You'll see aggressive security guards in these private schools. And the black and brown kids, they're about 400% more likely to get arrested in school. These will be little Nazi producing camps. And Florida is going to be the first test kitchen on this son of a bitch. And those every kid that's not in a certain box is going to get exploited in one of the biggest states in the union. We're up against our last break, and we'll be back with some more Two Queers in a Truck.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show.
And we are back. Our fifth subject is I Will Break You. Just like Drago from Rocky IV said to Rocky right before Rocky gave him the Philadelphia beatdown, Colt 45 is lighting Dick Suckus up, and I mean lighting him up. I actually produced two pictures of Dick Suckus.
I just got what you said, yeah.
Partying with his high school students when Dick Suckus was a private high school teacher. And I can't imagine Dick Suckus as a high school teacher too, by the way. That's creepy in itself. I wouldn't put any students or any minors near that dude. But one of the reasons we call him Dick Suckus is because Christian went to an undisclosed undisclosed location last summer, as he does every year. And in that place, the gays glossed him with the name Dick Suckus. And we talked about it while you're in, because we do the show even when you're remote or traveling and all that. Yeah. And it just resonated with me. It's the best name ever. I mean, Trump calls him Sanctimonious, but I like Dick Suckus because his obsession.
Yeah, I think he should switch. Yeah.
But Trump, he threw down the gauntlet, as he has been in a while, on the, and we're using this word very loosely, Truth Social. There's not a lot of truth necessarily being spread on there, but this particular deal, Trump isn't wrong. He's got pictures of creepy ass Dick Suckus partying with his students, drinking, and these are all minors. These are high school students, and partying with them, like partying, as a teacher versus student, Matt Gaetz special. What is it about Florida and pedophilia? I mean, creepiness, like Matt Gaetz, friggin' our boy, Maddie Cawthorn, she moved down to Miami and bought $1 million house, even though she only made $174,000 for 2 years. I mean, there's nothing peculiar there. I mean, but so Colt 45 is going right at Dick Suckus, Governor DeSantis. For people that don't know who we're talking about, because DeSantis is going to run for the Republican nomination in 2024. There's no doubt. He said it. He hasn't officially announced, but he's clearly running for higher office. It came up in his re-election campaign last year. And,
so what do you think he's? I mean, and we kind of knew he was going to go after him because he said he was.
Sure.
But and quite honestly, I don't blame him because DeSantis is a dick, so it's like I don't have any loss. It doesn't hurt my feelings that he's going after him. But why do you think he decided to go after him like now? I thought maybe he'd wait at least until he announced. You think he's just trying to damage him early?
Yeah, 100%. I think Trump's
pretty smart, I guess. Yeah,
Trump's pretty good at strategy, or he's got people around him that know strategy, and Trump also knows the art of the con. And he knows how to punch first. A lot of conservatives, the one good thing, they know how to take hold of a narrative and make it sound like the truth. And he feels that DeSantis is a frontrunner, probably because he is. Because in most national polling, DeSantis is included into the front runners for the Republican nomination already. They're already doing polling and DeSantis is in every major poll. One,
Which
because he's had a tremendous amount of success on his very evil platform to do the damage to public schools, public colleges. You look at how he steamrolled the college system into pulling out all African American studies. See how he passed the Stop Woke bill, the Don't Say Gay bill. How he's controlled the lashback, and he's manhandling Disney right now, which is the largest private employer in Florida. This guy's successful.
You know what it seems like? You know what it seems like, Jen? It kind of seems in a way like Trump is like, man, you can't shit a shitter. I'm like the ultimate con game, and I know he's a con game. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I invented the con, and so he's up. And then I also think that he said it before, that this DeSantis is kind of disloyal. I can actually see Trump going like, if he had just called me, if he had just said, hey, just want to let you know I'm going to run like Nikki did, I wouldn't have been after him. But he didn't have the courtesy. He hurt my feelings. And because he hurt my feelings, that's a really bad Trump, but you know what I mean?
No, but it sounds more like something from The Godfather or
it was really bad.
But you're right. And Trump's got such a, he's got a more inflated vision of himself than the Chinese balloon, and that psychopath. One, because Trump really believes that he got DeSantis elected, and I'm not so sure Trump didn't pull some crooked strings and did some things. There's all kinds of rumors flowing. Yeah. So I think Trump believes that DeSantis is beholden to him and that he's inferior to him, and saying, hey, my MAGA movement is what made you. I made you. You are my Frankenstein. And Trump believes he is the Dom Daddy of the Republican Party. And he is until he isn't. Honestly, he controls that party. He controls the House. Kevin McCarthy and all the MAGAs in there are his minions, to do what he wants. And we've said this, any vote for Republicans a vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Any Republican you put in office, you're putting another Trump acolyte in there. The Republican Party belongs to the MAGAs. And until Trump's no longer relevant or in jail. But the next one is a more funny one. I mean, not that isn't funny. I'm here to see Trump destroy each other, because they're two big old queens. And I think the best crack that Trump made about DeSantis, and this was a few months ago, was he referred to DeSantis has a big old fat ass. I'm like, oh,
what?
Do you not have any
what on earth?
Now? I mean, you got body by McDonald's, dude. Like, you got a strict diet of Diet Coke, French fries, and those little double cheeseburgers. Like, come on, man. There's not going to be a fitness company that's calling you anytime soon to represent them. I can tell you that. But there's all kinds of satanic rituals going on at the Grammys, and I'm here for it. Sam Smith, Kim Petras, that won a dual or joint Grammy for one of their songs. Kim Petras is a German-born trans woman. Sam Smith is a non-binary, genderqueer, sexually queer artist. Both are phenomenal artists. Their songs, their duet that they did together is phenomenal. But they dressed in all red, and they also brought several drag queens to the red carpet there, and it really was. It looked like an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. They looked amazing. There was all these different shades of red and textures, and there was leather and latex, and it was pretty wild. It looked like the old Bananarama video from the 80s with, the wood girls dressed up in a vinyl cat suit and like a devil suit laughing, and it was just a the conservatives, of course, right on cue, started losing their
with Lady
flipping mind, and
What's
our friend and troll, Lady Senator Cruz, Rafael Cruz down there in Texas, lost his mind. Oh my God, they're going to make all of our kids homosexuals and want to have satanic sex. And I'm like, dude, leave your fantasies out of this. Like, whatever you crank your wank to on the internet, on the Google machine, keep that in your bedroom. Like, you're projecting your fantasies. And this is the thing. The conservatives read to their little pornodex real quick and said, oh, this is like my favorite porn. But I got to lose my mind to be mad about it because it's two homosexual queers performing this. And like Kim Petras was in this like cage looking thing. And it was a wild BDSM show, but it was just a show. Like, there was no nudity. There was nobody actually having sex or anything like this. But of course they got to go there. They got to go that, it's going to ruin her. It's grooming our kids. And I'm like,
who were you thinking of when you heard it or watched that? Just curious.
When I saw the video or when I saw the comment? When I saw the video, I just thought it was a really good video because the song's called Unholy. So it's, but unholy in a textual sense and contextual sense doesn't automatically go to satanic rituals.
Exactly.
Be so, is that it's not maybe in alignment with Christian values or religious values. Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of things that go on the Catholic Church, for example, that are very unholy. Yeah. I mean, like, priests, sweet tooth for little boys, little altar boys. Like at the end of the day, it was a good show. It was a great song. It was a great performance. Both performers were phenomenal. They have a great stage presence. It's one of the reasons they continually just sell tons of downloads and records, and that's why it won a Grammy. There's a reason why it did so well, and irregardless of their identities, most people are going to listen to music, especially pop and rock and things like that, don't really care what your gender identity is or your sexual identity is anymore. I mean, look at Lil Nas. I mean, he's an openly gay, gender fluid, black person that performs in wild ass looking costumes in country music. And country music typically doesn't have the most open-minded audience, but the younger people that want the new country that are changing, and country music is changing a lot. The newer generation want more progressive stuff. They want more fun stuff. They don't want to live in a world that is like 1620, where the Puritans are running things, going, oh my gosh, you can't touch yourself, you can't touch others, women can't speak out, or they're witches. Like, dude, this isn't the 1620s, this is the 2020s. And this is in a modern technology era. And just because you want to preach some false morality of, you can't do that on TV. Well, why can't you? There's crazier things that video on Netflix right now. I know, I watched some of it. And I guarantee you, if you went to Ted Cruz's browser, let me tell you, I would love to be able to infiltrate Ted Cruz's and DeSantis's browser history. Because on their personal computers, and probably the federal government's computers and the state of Florida's computers too, there is no telling what they've downloaded. People that scream like that have got something to hide. And there is some crazy, funky, donkey show type adult film stuff to download on their computers And you know what? If you want to find some illegal porn on computers, go look at those two computers. I bet you they got stuff that I would even go, oh my. And on that note, we are at the end of Two Queers in a Truck, and we've put another. Oh, you got it to work?
I did.
Oh my gosh, you get a gold star. You're so special. Woo! And another technological miracle on Two Queers in a Truck.
Exactly.
Christian got the Pandora to work the way he wanted it to. On that note, we're going to leave a little rainy in, and I'll see you next week, Boo.
Bye, Boo. Good show.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck, and stay safe out there. There's a lot of crazy people like Ted Cruz out on the list. Have a great week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, y'all.